So inside an organization, we can able to create one or more users, depends upon the number of licenses that we have. For each and every user, we have to assign a license. Without the license, we cannot able to add the users. If you're having some 10 licenses, we can able to add only 10 users, not more than that. So every user should be associated with a user license. That license will decide what features can be accessible by this user. As we have discussed when coming to the Salesforce for the free developer edition, Salesforce is offering few set of licenses to you. Now in the free developer edition, Salesforce is providing some 2 Salesforce licenses. Nothing but 2 full licenses. The Salesforce license is also called as a full licenses. So now when coming to the Salesforce license is granting the visibility on all the standard Salesforce CRM application functionalities. Along with that, your custom functionalities also we can able to access. It may be the Salesforce CRM functionalities which we have configured based on your need, or it may be your own application which you have implemented based on your requirement. Everything we can able to access with the help of the full license, nothing but the Salesforce license. So when you go to that platform license, platform license is purely concentrating on the custom functionalities. Whatever the custom application that you have configured, custom objects, custom functionalities that you have implemented, everything we can able to access, and along with that, we can able to access only few standard objects of Salesforce. All the objects of Salesforce cannot be visible to you. Only account and the contact and the opportunity and the task object, event object, these objects will be accessible to you. All the standard objects of Salesforce will not be accessible to you here inside this platform license. So when we can go for this platform license? Already in our initial classes that we have discussed, whenever if you need an application to automate your business process, first of all, the people are looking for the ready-made application. If there is any ready-made applications are there in the market which exactly suits to our business process. If the ready-made application is available, then we can able to purchase that license of that ready-made application and we can able to start utilizing that. If the ready-made application is not suitable for your organization requirement, then at that time we can go with that custom application development. In order to develop a custom application, we need a platform. So now that platform is nothing but offered by with the help of a license called as platform license. So now as part of free developer edition, Salesforce is providing 2 Salesforce licenses, nothing but the 2 full licenses, and the 3 platform licenses where we can able to take that force.com platform as on rental basis, and then we can build your own custom application whatever you want, and we can expose this application or we can grant the access of this application to all your customers and the partners and end users and everybody. And along with that, as part of free developer edition, Salesforce is offering 5,000 charter free licenses, and they're offering 5 customer community licenses as well. So these are the various licenses Salesforce will be offering to you by default, because even though if it is a free developer edition, without having a license, we cannot able to add a user record inside this Salesforce. Then how do we know how many licenses granted by the Salesforce to us? How many licenses we have used as of now? How many licenses are remains? So now in order to cross check that, we can go to the company profile, or else we can go to your system overview. So now when you go to that left panel, inside that monitor option, you will be having the first option called as system overview. When you click on system overview, it is going to be describing what is the various features offered by Salesforce to you, and what are the limitations offered by Salesforce to you, how much you have utilized as of now, how many things are remains. We can able to cross check everything in one place. So now at that time, you can go to that system overview. Salesforce is offering some set of custom objects to you as part of free developer edition. How many we can create? If it is a free developer edition, we can able to have maximum of 400 custom objects. Now it is indicating that. So now maximum of 400 custom objects. This is nothing but the custom object. So now we can able to create maximum of 400 custom objects, but as of now, how many we have created? 3. These are the 3 objects we have created as of now. Custom settings. Salesforce is allowing the custom settings also. Up to 2 MB of data we can store, but we haven't created anything as of now. That is nothing but the 0. When moving forward, we are discussing about the custom settings as well. And the data storage. The data storage has been given by the Salesforce to you the 5 MB as of now. They have given the 5 MB of data storage. We can able to store the records. As of now, we have used 366 KB only to store these records. And the business logic. It is giving that rules. How many workflow rules and the validation rules you have configured. It is going to be indicating that information that we can able to have maximum of 2000 rules per an organization. And as of now, we have created 8. Apex triggers. Triggers we have created 0 because we haven't discussed about the development topic. So that we have created 0 triggers. Custom applications. Custom applications we have created 3. Salesforce is giving the limitation as 10. ActiveFirst.com sites. They have allowed up to 1, but we haven't created anything that will be 0. So now when you go to that licenses part, in that licenses, Salesforce is granting the Salesforce license to you, charter free license, customer community plus license as well. Community licenses they have granted 5, charter free licenses they have granted up to 5,000, and the Salesforce licenses they have granted up to 2. But already we have used 1. Whenever you are creating a Salesforce instance, nothing but the Salesforce account, by default, whatever the details that you have entered inside that registration form, with those details, Salesforce is creating one user to you by default. That user will be having the system administrator permissions. Now that user will be occupying 1 license. So that here 1 license has been occupied, and then nothing but 1 license has been used, and then still we are having 1 more license is available to us. So that we can able to assign this license to the another user. Now, then upon creating a new user, for every user we have to select a profile, and in the previous session we have discussed how to create a profile. How can we create a custom profile we have discussed, and then we have created 2 custom profiles as well inside our organization. Then how can we cross check all the profiles which we have created? So now how can we create our own custom profiles? So now when you go to that manage users, inside the manage users you will be having an option called as profiles. In these profiles we can able to see all the profiles provided by the Salesforce to you by default, like as it is providing the authenticated website profile, and then analytics cloud security user profile, and the contract manager profile, and then system administrator profile, and the read-only profile, custom community plus user profile, and the custom sales profile, custom support profile. Like that, Salesforce is providing so many profiles to you. And along with that, we have created our own profiles also over there. In the previous session, we have created 2 profiles. One is the training platform profile. Second one is the training Salesforce profile. These are the 2 profiles we have created. Then how do we know whether this is a custom or standard? Now here, when coming to this profiles table, you will be having a column called as custom. This custom column is going to be indicating it with along with the checkbox, which indicates whether it is a custom profile or whether it is a standard profile. If it is a custom profile, then automatically this column will be having a tick mark, nothing but a checkbox has been selected, by which we can indicate whether this is a custom profile or not. Now each and every profile will be associated with a license. Now, when coming to the training platform profile, this is associated with the license Salesforce platform. When coming to the training Salesforce profile, this is associated with the license called as Salesforce license. Already we have discussed from profile to license only one-to-one association will be there. From license to profile we are having the one-to-many association. Observe this one. Here we are having the license called as Salesforce license is there. With the same Salesforce license we are having the solution manager profile. With the same Salesforce licenses we are having that standard user profile, system administrator profile, and with the same Salesforce license we are having the training Salesforce profile also. Nothing but profile is only one, but the sorry the your license is only one and the profiles are many. Nothing but profile to license one to one association, and the license to profile we are having one to many association is available. Now, so now in this kind of scenario here, whenever you are going to be creating a profile, then every profile should be associated with a license. So now the license is going to be granting the permission what features it can able to access inside that. Now, do you want to grant all the features to the user? Then you can decide. That configuration we can able to do inside that profile itself. Now, for example, assume that when coming to the license is providing some various flexibilities to you. Like as we can able to access the standard applications, we can able to access the custom applications and everything. And if you want to grant only the standard applications to few users, then we can create a separate profile. In that profile, you can specify the permissions to access only the standard applications. And you can create one more profile with the same license. License is same. Now I want to grant only the access on the custom application to some different set of users. So at that time, we can able to create one more profile. In that profile, grant the access to all the custom applications which you have developed, and assign this profile to that users here. Now, so now whenever we are going to be using these licenses, each license will be having the multiple profiles, and then every profile can be assigned to the multiple users. Now let's see here. We are having the license over here. Assume that this is the license that we have. So now I'm having a license. Assume that this is a Salesforce license. Now this is a Salesforce license which will be granting the access on all the standard and custom functionalities. We can access both the standard custom features of Salesforce. So now by using this license, I would like to grant the access to the standard functionalities for a few users. I would like to grant only the custom functionalities access to a few different users. Then how can we restrict the visibility here? We are having multiple users are available. So at that time, instead of assigning the licenses directly in between the users and the Salesforce, they have provided the profile. So now we are going to be having the profiles. You can configure multiple profiles also over here, like as the profile 1 and the profile 2 and the profile 3. Three profiles I'm creating right now here. So now these are the profiles that we have. All these profiles are associated with the same license. So now this is the profile 1. So which is granting the access on only standard applications. And here is the second profile, profile 2, which is granting the access on only custom. Which is granting the access on only custom applications. For few users, I want to grant the access on both standard and custom. This is a profile 3. It is granting the access on both the standard, custom apps. So now here depends upon the number of users. Now we have to grant the license for every user here. So now assume that I'm having some 10 licenses are there. Okay, assume that I'm having some 10 licenses. Total number of licenses that I'm having right now is some 10 licenses. Because for every user, we should have a license. So now whenever you are going to be creating this particular users, okay, whenever you are creating the users. So now, for example, I'm creating a few set of users right now. So now this is the user 1. So now I'm having some user. This is some user is there. So now I'm having some users available inside my organization. So now here we are going to be adding few users inside my organization. I'm going to be assigning the profiles to these users. Now, so now these are the users are available inside my organization. So now let's assume that we are having some 7 users are there inside my organization. So now whenever you are going to be creating the user, for every user we have to assign a profile. So now as of now I'm having some 10 licenses are available inside my organization. Now every user requires a license. Okay, every user requires a license. Now in this case, whenever you are going to be creating a user, for each and every user we have to assign a profile. So now all the profiles are associated with a single license here. Now these are all profiles are associated with the same license. All these profiles are associated with the same license. All these profiles are associated with the same license. So now, upon creating a profile, we are going to be selecting the license. Only one license we can able to select, but one license can have the multiple profiles inside that. But upon creating a user record, we have to select the profile which has to be get assigned to this particular user. Now this license is going to be deciding what applications to be get accessible, and inside that, for this set of users, which application that you want to grant the access, that will be decided by the profile. And between that Salesforce application, if you want to access the Salesforce application, then we should have a license. Okay, then we should have a license over here. Then we should have a license over here. So now when coming to the Salesforce, if you're having the license, then only we can able to access that Salesforce application. So now at that time, this license is granting the rights that this user can able to access the Salesforce application. So now in this kind of scenario, what permissions that you want to grant to the user on this Salesforce application, that will be decided by the profile itself. The profile is the mediator between the Salesforce application and the user. The profile decides what applications the user can able to access inside my Salesforce organization. So now upon creating a user, mandatorily we have to assign a profile. Now in that profile, we are specifying the permission. We are configuring the permissions. What features of my organization can be accessible by these users. When coming to the association between the user and the profile, one user should be associated with only one profile, but one profile can be get assigned to the multiple users also. So nothing but between that profile to user, we are having one to many association, and then user to profile, we are having one to one association always. So now, whenever you are going to be creating the user, always we have to select a profile. Okay, always we have to select a profile. So now for that, when coming to the user, upon creating the user, we have to assign a profile over here. We have to assign a profile. For each and every user, we have to select the profile. The same profile we can able to assign to the multiple users also. That possibilities will be available to you. Nothing but this profile is going to be deciding what permission the user is having inside my Salesforce organization. Now in this kind of scenario, how can we configure these users? Let's see. Already we have configured the profiles yesterday in the previous session, and how to create a profile we have discussed. When coming to the Salesforce, Salesforce is providing some set of standard profiles to you, which we can able to assign to one or more users. But there are some problems are there with the standard profiles where the standard profile features we cannot able to modify always. We cannot modify all the features of standard profiles, so that it is always recommended to create your own custom profiles, and then we can able to assign that custom profiles to your users. Because if it is a custom profile, then in future if this custom profile is not required or it is no longer needed for you, then we can able to remove that custom profiles also in future here. That possibilities are available to you. So now in this kind of scenario, when coming to the license to profile, we are having one to many association. Profile to user, we are having one to many associations are there. So now for that, now let's see how can we configure. Now whenever you are adding a user, automatically one license will be assigning to every user automatically here. So now totally we are having 7 users are there. 7 users are also using the 7 licenses. Now remaining 3 licenses will be available to you inside that. For every user, we have to assign a single license. Okay, now let's see here. How can we create these users? Now let's see practically here. Upon creating the user, compulsorily we have to select the profile, because profile is a mandatory field while creating the users. Now, so now then how can we create the users inside our Salesforce organization? So now whenever you are going to be creating the users inside the organization, depends upon the number of licenses that we have, we can create only those many number of users. If the licenses are over, then you cannot create any more users inside that user inside your organization. So now whatever the users that you have created, all the users information will be stored inside that user table. Internally, Salesforce is maintaining a table here that is called as with the name user. All user records will get resides in user table. All user records will get resides inside that user table inside that Salesforce. Then how can we create the user in Salesforce here? Like as your Salesforce account, creating this user is also like a two-step process. Upon creating the Salesforce account, we are having two-step processes there. Like the same way here also, whenever you are adding the user, we are having the two-step process. First of all, we have to enter the details of the user. After entering the details of the user, when you click on submit button, nothing but the save button, the user record will be getting created, and that user account activation link will be forwarding to that email ID of that user which you have specified. Now, the user has to go to his email ID, and then he has to open that email notification, click on that account activation link. enter his password in the confirm password and the security question and the answer. And then when he click on change password, then automatically the password will get changed and he can able to log in into that account directly here by using that login.salesforce.com again with this username and the passwords. Now, so now let's see here. How can we create the users inside our organization right now? We'll see practically. In order to create that user account, go to that setup menu. Go to the setup menu. In the left panel, go to the administer menu. Go to the administer menu in the left panel. In order to add the users, go to the manage users and expand it. Click on users link in order to add the users. Now it is going to be listing out all the users available inside your organization as of now. These are the various users are available. By default, Salesforce is going to be creating one charter-free user. And this is a user which has been created upon creating your Salesforce account. Whenever you are creating a new Salesforce account by using that registration form, with those details, it is creating a new Salesforce user automatically for you. Now this user will be having the system administration permission. Nothing but the profile which has been assigned to this user is system administrator. Now it is indicating whether this user is in active status or not. We can able to indicate with the help of a checkbox called as active checkbox. Now it is going to be creating these users to you. Now Salesforce is providing the 5 licenses to us: 2 Salesforce license, 3 platform license. Now only 1 license has been used by this user as of now, and now I would like to use the remaining 4 licenses. I want to assign those licenses to those users. So now here I would like to create the users like this. I want to create the 4 users. I want to create the 4 users because we are having 4 users, 4 licenses are left. 4 licenses are remaining right now. And now I would like to create the 4 users. One is the development user. Second one is the testing user. Third one is the manager user. Fourth one is the customer user. These are the 4 users I would like to create. So now for these users, for the development user, I want to assign that profile which is associated with that Salesforce license. Nothing but I want to assign the profile as training Salesforce profile, which is of Salesforce license. Because Salesforce is offering 2 Salesforce licenses by default in the free developer edition. Now, based on that Salesforce license, we have configured a profile called as training Salesforce profile. That profile I would like to assign to this development user. For the testing user, I would like to assign the training platform profile. Now this profile is a platform profile, platform licensed profile. And then this manager user also should be having the same because here Salesforce licenses are over. Now, so now for these 3 users, remaining 3 users, I want to assign the platform license because Salesforce is offering 3 platform licenses to you by default and the 2 Salesforce licenses. One Salesforce license is already using by my system administrator, and now the remaining 1 license I'm going to be assigning to my development user here. Now I would like to create these 4 users right now inside my organization. Then let's see how can we create these users right now. Go to your Salesforce instance and go to the manage users. Click on users link. It is providing all the list of users currently available inside your organization who are accessing your application. Now click on new user button to create a new user. So this is the form that we have in order to create a user. Whenever you are going to be joining into an organization as a Salesforce developer, now your project manager will collect all your details, and then they will be passing those details to one of the member inside his team who is working as a Salesforce administrator. Now to that person he is passing all his details. Now that Salesforce administrator person will be creating a new user record with this particular by entering your details inside this form only. So now as soon as they have entered the details, in that email field, they are providing your corporate email ID. Suppose if you are working in a TCS organization, they will be creating one corporate email ID to you. Not to that corporate email ID, they are specifying inside this email field. So to that email ID, you will be receiving this account activation link so that you can activate your account. Now, so now they will be providing all the details here. First name, I'm giving the first name as user. I'm giving the last name as development, nothing but user development. It is providing some alias automatically by default, and the email as I'm giving my email ID. The username I'm going to be giving like as training.development@gmail.com. Now this username is very, very important because this is the username that person has to use to log in into his account. In order to log in into his account by using login.salesforce.com, the username should be, this is the email ID here. Already we have discussed that while creating the Salesforce account also, each and every user's username should be in a email ID format. So now this is a username which that person has to use to log in into his account. So now here we have entered that username as the training.development user here. The nickname I am going to be giving that training.development. The title, he is a developer. Company, some TCS Incorporation. Department, some development. Division, some IT division. Now, so now when coming to this part here, now this is the actual place where we have to assign this profile. Now let's see. So now when coming to the fields, we are having three fields are mandatorily visible to you over here. One is a role. This is also looking like as red color, nothing but this is a mandatory, license, and the profile. Three fields are available here. So now without selecting the profile, we cannot able to create any user. Profile is a mandatory field always upon creating a new user record inside your organization. So now in this kind of scenario, compulsorily you have to select the profile here. So now select that license first. Based on that license, whatever the profiles are associated like as, based on the license, whatever the profiles are associated, all the profiles will be getting visible to you inside that pick list field. Now select the license. Now I am having the Salesforce license. Observe this one. Salesforce license is visible over here. Nothing but we have one license is remains. That's what it is visible to you. If the Salesforce licenses are over, then now at that time, the Salesforce license will not be visible to you inside this pick list field to you. Now, so now I'm having that Salesforce license. Select the Salesforce license. Whenever you are selecting the Salesforce license, whatever the profiles associated with this license, all the profiles will be getting populated to you inside the profiles field. Now from that profile, select the profile which you want to assign to that user. Nothing but one license is associated with these many number of profiles. Okay, nothing but license to profile, we are having one to many association. One license can have multiple profiles. So now in that one, we have created our own custom profile that is called as training Salesforce profile. I want to assign this training Salesforce profile to the user. I haven't selected any role. Observe this one. I haven't selected any role. Even though we haven't selected any role, then we can able to create the user record. Now the remaining details you may enter, you may not enter. It won't bother about that. So now I am going to be creating that record here. Click on save button. Now click on save button. Now it is going to be creating a user record for you. Your user record has been created successfully. Observe this one. Even though we are having the Role field is looking like as mandatory, but without selecting the role field, we can able to create the user record. Nothing but role is not a mandatory field upon creating the user, but profile is a mandatory field upon creating the user. Without selecting the profile, we cannot create a user record. Now, the user record has been created right now. Now, how can we activate this user? How can we log in into this user here? Now, let's see. In order to activate that user, you have to go to your email ID, and in that email ID, it will be having the email from the Salesforce in order to activate your Salesforce account. I'm logging into my email ID here. Because to get that account activation link, I have given my email notification, my email ID. Now we have received one email notification from Salesforce. Your developer edition login information. Now it is going to be providing that this is a user record which we have created. This is a username which we have to use to log in into that account. This is the account activation link. Click on this account activation link, or else you can copy this link and paste into a separate browser. Excuse me. Now paste into the separate browser. Now it will ask you to provide the password and the confirm password and the security question and the answer. Now we have to enter your password and the confirm password and the security question and the answer. Now I'm giving the password and the confirm password, security question and the answer. Click on change password. Automatically the password has been will reset. It will be logging into the account automatically by default here. Now who is the user just now logged in? This user is nothing but the development user. Okay, he is a development user here. Now this user is a development user. Like the same way, I want to create the remaining users as well. Now log out from this one. The user has been activated successfully. Now for this user, the username is nothing but to log into this username. This is a user, sorry. This is a username, training.development@gmail.com. This is a username. I want to create the remaining 3 users also here. Let's create the remaining 3 users. Who is Ravi? Hi guys. Who is Ravi? Somebody has logged in.
Yeah, Firoz, this is Sandeep. I think.
Okay.
Hello.
So it is
This is
showing the
Sandeep.
name like as Ravi. That's what.
Yeah,
Of
I've
some
just seen that.
okay. Some new person has joined. I thought of that. Okay.
Okay.
Now. So now we have created one user right now. This user is in active status. Now inside that user table, it is having one field called as a Boolean field, nothing but a checkbox type. This is active, which is going to be indicating whether this user is in active status or not. Now this checkbox is indicating this is active, so that this user is in active status right now. Now let's see. Now come to the system overview right now. Observe what will happen in this case. Go to the system overview. Inside that monitor option. Now when you come to the licenses part, it is indicating that what are the 2 licenses granted by the Salesforce for the Salesforce license, and these 2 licenses we have used. Now it is giving that information. Now contact us to obtain additional Salesforce user licenses. Nothing but if you need any more licenses, then please contact the Salesforce. Nothing but without having the licenses, we cannot create any more user record. Every user should be associated with a license. This is a mandatory thing inside this Salesforce. With the proper licenses only, the user can able to log in into the Salesforce application, and they can able to access the features of Salesforce application. Now, Now I want to create 3 more users also, because Salesforce licenses are full right now here. So now I want to create remaining 3 users by using the platform license. Now go to that users link, click on new user. I'm creating the remaining users. User manager. Now email ID is, I'm giving my same email ID to get the account activation link. And the username, I'm going to be giving the name like as training manager. The nickname also I'm giving like as the training manager. The title is he is a manager. Company is some TCS. Department is some development department. Division is IT division. Now he's playing a major role, nothing but he's playing a manager role. Now when you go to the licenses, Salesforce will not be available to you here because Salesforce licenses are no more. Salesforce licenses already we have used, so that here the license will not be getting visible to you over here. But we are having the platform licenses are there. Select the Salesforce platform license and then select the profile which you want to assign. So now we have created our own custom profile with the name training platform profile. Let's use this profile to be get assigned to the user. Now this is the user ID, nothing but the username to be used to log in into that account. Now click on save. Automatically user record will be getting created for you. Now it will be sending the account activation link to that email ID here. Go to that email notification. Open that account activation link right now. Inside a separate browser. So we can click on that link directly itself. But after that, what happened is when you signed out the account, automatically the whole Salesforce instance will be getting signed out. So for that, here I'm opening in a separate browser. Now I'm entering the password. So I have entered the passwords and select the security question and the answer. Better to maintain the same password for all the users, because if you are maintaining the different password, it will be difficult to remember that. Now this is a platform profile. Now this platform profile is granting only the access on that platform application, nothing but the custom applications. Let's see. When you observe this one, only the custom applications are visible to you. Standard applications will not be visible to you inside that platform profile. Platform is purely concentrating on custom functionalities, so that only the custom applications will be visible to you. The standard applications will not be visible to you over here. Now, I'm logging out from this user right now. So now for this user, we have created this user account. The user ID is, this is the user ID here. Sorry, this is a manager user. Now, I want to create the remaining 2 users also. Now, before that, let's cross-check the system overview. Then you can get some idea on this. System overview. Inside the system overview, it is going to be indicating that we are having the 2 Salesforce licenses and both we have used. This is 100% utilization. That's what it is giving with the red color symbol. Now Salesforce platform licenses. Now they have given maximum 3. As of now, we have used 33%, nothing but only 1 we have created. Remaining 66% is there, nothing but 2 more licenses we can able to create it. 2 more users we can able to create by assigning these licenses. Now let's see. Now go to that manage users now. Click on users link. I'm creating the remaining 2 users. User customer and the email ID, I'm giving the same email ID, and I'm giving that username as training customer user. I'm giving the same unique name also here. The title is he is a customer, company is some TCS, department is some sales, division is some sales division. I'm selecting the profile. I'm selecting the license as Salesforce platform license, and I'm selecting the same profile over here. Click on save. Your user record will be getting created. Go to the account activation link which you have received from the Salesforce people and copy that link, open inside a separate browser. Enter the password and the confirm password, security question and the answer. So now I have created this user with the name customer user. Customer user also we have created right now. I'm signing out from this user right now. So for this user, this is a username that we have, training.customer. Next, one more user is left, testing user. Let's go to your Salesforce instance now. Check the system overview. Now you will be having one more license is left. Nothing but 2 Salesforce licenses we have used. Nothing but 66% we have occupied. Nothing but only the 33% is left. Now create the one more user. Go to the manage users. Click on users account by using that new user button. User testing. Email ID, I'm giving my same email ID to get the account activation link and specify that username as training testing user. The title is he is a tester, company the same, and the department is a QA department, and the division is also QA or IT. Now, upon creating that particular user record, compulsorily we have to enter the profile. I'm selecting the same platform profile. Now go to that save button. Your account will be getting created and activate that account by using that account activation link right now. I'm copying this account activation link. I'm opening in a separate browser. I'm activating this user account. Now select the security question and the answer. Now all the users has been activated right now. Now this is a user testing. Now all the users are available right now over here. So now we have created all the users right now. Whatever the licenses given by the Salesforce, we have used all the licenses as of now. When you go to that system overview, it is indicating that all the licenses are full. We don't have any more licenses. Okay, Salesforce platform licenses 3 we have used. Salesforce 2 licenses we have used right now. Now, whenever you are going to be creating the user record, every user should be associated with a profile. The profile is going to be associated with that license itself. Now, once the users has been getting created, these people can able to log in into the application directly by using login.salesforce.com with their username, with their passwords itself. They can able to log in and they can able to perform all the operations whatever they want. Now, so now in between that user and the Salesforce application, we are having the profile. In that profile, we can specify what permission that you want to grant to this set of users. What objects should be visible to the user. What applications to be visible to these users. What tabs to be visible to the user. What page layouts to be visible to the user. What record types to be visible to the user. what general permissions to be applicable to the user, what system permissions to be applicable to the user, what Apex classes to be visible to the user, what Visual Force pages to be visible to the user, and the what login hours, login IP ranges, session timer permissions, password policies, everything we can able to configure inside the profile itself. So now depends upon these users, we can able to configure the options inside that profile itself. Now, so inside that profile, we can able to configure whatever the permission that you want to apply for this set of users. Nothing but each set of users will be associated with a different profile, so that whatever the permission that you want to grant to these users, we have to go in that profile itself here. Now, so now here we have assigned the licenses to these profiles here. For example, assume that when coming to my organization, for this Salesforce license, I'm having some assume that two users are there. For the platform, I'm having some 3 users are available right now, which we have configured. So now, when coming to the users, once the users has been getting created, then how can we deactivate the user here? Okay, how can we deactivate the user? Suppose, for example, we have created the various users right now. These are the users we have created. These are the users we have created. So now from this user, one user has been resigned. Nothing but user means one member here, one employee inside my organization. So now from these users, one employee has been resigned from my company, from my team. Now today is the last working day for this person here. Now from tomorrow onwards, he is going to be joining some different company, so that from tomorrow onwards, this person cannot able to access our Salesforce application. This person is working on our project since almost some 6 months or 1 year. As of now, he is having the access on our Salesforce instance. He is implementing the functionalities. Now, from now onwards, he will not be the part of our team. He will not be the part of our organization, so that I would like to prevent the login access for this user from my Salesforce instance. Now, in this kind of scenario, how can we prevent the login access to the users? Generally, if I'm creating a account record, we can able to use that account record till whatever the time that you want. If that account record is not required for you, we are going to be removing that record from that object. But in Salesforce, once a user record has been getting created, we cannot remove that user record from Salesforce. There is no any option in Salesforce to remove a user record. Once the user record has been created, that will be fixed. We cannot remove the user record from the Salesforce. There is no such options in Salesforce. Even though in the entry point of view, they may be asking the questions in the indirectly also, okay, confidently say that we don't have any options in Salesforce to remove a user record. User record cannot be removable from Salesforce instance. Now, if the user record is not able to remove, then how can we prevent the user from my login here? How can we prevent these users to log in into my application from now onwards? So at that time, in order to prevent the user from logging into your Salesforce application, Salesforce is giving the 2 options to you. One is the deactivating the user, and the second one is freeze the user, and then we can unfreeze the user. So what do you mean by deactivation? What do you mean by freeze? If I'm deactivating, then what will happen? If I'm freezing this, what will happen? When we can go for deactivation? When we can go for freeze? Now let's see practically here. So now, for example, here, assume that, so I'm having my organization, I have my team. Inside my team, I'm having some 3 members are there. Okay, I'm having some 3 members are there inside my team. Now user 1, and the user 2, and the user 3. 3 members are there inside my team. So now this person is nothing but some Ramesh. And then This person is nothing but some Swati. This person is nothing but some Suresh. So now all these three persons are working inside my same team. Now all the persons are working for my same team here. These people are working in my team right now. So now when coming to the Ramesh here, Ramesh got a very good opportunity in a different company, in a very big MNC. Now he got resigned. He's going to be leaving from my company from tomorrow onwards. From tomorrow onwards, he will not be the part of our team. He will not be the part of our organization. So that from tomorrow onwards, he cannot able to access our Salesforce application. So I want to prevent this user here. Nothing but permanently he is going to be relieving from the company. Not for the temporary, he is a permanently we are relieving this employee from this company here. So at that time, what happened? Whenever if any of the user wants to permanently prevent from logging into the application, then at that time we have to go for the deactivation. So for that here, deactivate that user. Okay, deactivate that user to whom you want to prevent the access here. So now for this user, I am going to be deactivating right now here. Now make this user as deactivated. Deactivate. So now, after that, there is a second scenario here. Now let's see. When coming to the Swati, Swati is our one of our team member. She is a lady member working in our team since almost 1.5 years. So now Swati is going for the maternity leave. Okay, for 3 months, almost 3 months. Now Swati is going for the maternity leave. So because she will not be feeling well for some time, so that here till that time she will be getting recovered from her health issues, she will be in the vacation. Almost for 3 months she is going for the vacation. So now during that time what happened, she cannot able to work on our application. So now for that what I want to do is I want to prevent the login access to Swati from our application. Why? Because she is going for the vacation. So during that vacation she cannot able to log in into my application. She cannot able to work on that. Once she recovered from her health issues, she will come back to our organization again. She will start working on as it is. So nothing but what happened, there are some chances are there, nothing but 100% chances are there. After some time, nothing but after 2 months or after 3 months, she will be coming back to our team again. So now in this kind of scenario, what happened is we are going to be freezing that user here. We are going to be freezing that user. Now in this case, I'm freezing that user. Freeze the user. Freeze the user means what? Suspending the permissions of this user for some time. Till what time? Till she is getting recovered from her health issues. Suppose after 1 month, if she is feeling well, if she is ready to work from home, then I would like to grant access to her. Nothing but till she is recovered from her health issues, I would like to prevent the login access to her into my application. But when coming to the Ramesh, permanently I have removed that access here. Nothing but he cannot able to log in into my account again. Now in this kind of scenario, if I'm freezing the user, then what will happen? If I'm deactivating the user, then what will happen here? Let's see practically here. How can we deactivate the user now? When coming to the record, for every user record to indicate whether this user record is active or not, we are having a checkbox called as active checkbox. That active checkbox is going to be indicating whether this user is in active status or not. So now if you want to deactivate that user, simply go to that user record, open the user record and select the checkbox active and then save this record here. Automatically record will be getting saved. Nothing but the record will be getting deactivated automatically here. Nothing but in Salesforce, we don't have any option to remove the user record, but we can prevent the user from logging into a Salesforce application by using 2 ways. One is the deactivation, second one is the freeze. By using these 2 options, we can prevent the user from logging into our Salesforce application, but we cannot remove any user record from Salesforce. Now, so now whenever you are deactivating this user, then what will happen here? Let's observe this one. Deactivation means what? This person is going to be completely relieving from our organization. Now, for example, Whenever Ramesh has been joined into my company, as part of our project requirement, we have allocated a laptop to him. He is using our company laptop. We have assigned our company ID card. We have assigned our company access card. We have given a mobile also to him for this on-call support. Nothing but so many resources we have given to him. Now, whenever you are leaving from the company, what happened? Whatever the resources company has provided to you, you have to return back all those resources here. Like the same way, whenever I'm creating this Ramesh record, what I have assigned? I have assigned a license. Okay, I have assigned a license. Whenever you are deactivating the user, the license will be getting returned back to you. Okay, that license will be returned back to you. So in the Ramesh place, you are going to be recruiting one more resource. To that resource, you can assign that license here. Nothing but what happened whenever you are deactivating the resource record, nothing but the deactivating the user record, whatever the license has been assigned to that user, that license will be getting returned back to you, so that you will be having one license is there. That license you can assign to the another person who you have recruited inside your team to replace that Ramesh position. So now whenever you are freezing that user, okay, whenever you're freezing that user, the license will not be returned back to you. License will be still with that person itself, because there is a chance is there she will be come back to your organization again after 2 months or after 1 month again. So for that here, whenever you are deactivating the user, whatever the license that you have assigned, that license will be getting returned back to you. And then whenever you are freezing the user, the license will not be returned back. Still that user is in active status only, but for some time we have prevented the login access to her into our account. So for that here, this user will not be returning that license back to you. Now let's see here practically this information. Let's go to that. All the licenses are full right now. Okay, all the licenses are full. Now I would like to deactivate a user. Go to that user, manage users, click on users link. Now let's take any of the user here, development user. Open the development user. Now this user is in active status because it is indicating with the tick mark. Now I want to deactivate this user here. Now let's click on edit button, unselect the active checkbox right now. Unselect the active checkbox. Now click on save. User has been deactivated. Now whether the license has been returned or not, then how can we cross check that? Now he is a development user. He is a development user. So now this development user has been using the training Salesforce profile, nothing but he is using a Salesforce license. Okay, here's a license, user license is Salesforce license. Now whatever the license he is occupying right now, that license will be getting returned back to you. Let's go to your system overview now. Observe what will happen. When you come to the licenses, from that Salesforce licenses, one license has been returned back to you. Now one license is available with you right now. 50% we have utilized, and then 50% is remains. Nothing but one more license is available to you. This license you can assign to the another person who you have recruited inside your team. So now once you deactivate the user, automatically license will be getting returned back. Okay, license will be getting returned back to you here. Now, can you reactivate this user account again or not? Because at the later stage, at the last point, the last minute, this person is asking us to roll back our resignation, roll back our relieving, because he wants to continue. Or we have the requirement in our team. Now my client is expecting this person should be continuing inside the project itself for a specific 1 more year, because he is a very crucial person, so that we have offered a very good benefit to him that we are going to be increasing your salary. So please continue in our same organization. Whatever the package they have offered in a different company, the same package we are ready to provide to you. So please continue in our organization itself, because you are a very key role. We are a very key person inside our project. So we need your time inside our organization. So now at that time, this person is coming back to our organization again. So at that time, I want to reactivate this user again here. Go to that users. Now this development user is deactivated. Click on edit button, select the active checkbox now, click on save. Now again we have activated that user. Once a user has been deactivated, then we can able to reactivate that user again. Also that possibilities are available to you, because this person is ready to continue in the organization for 1 more year also, because we have offered very good benefit to him. So because of that, he would like to stay in the same company for some more time. So now when you go to that system overview, let's see System overview. Now the licenses are full again. Nothing but whatever the licenses that we have, all the licenses are full. So this is the way we can able to create the user and we can deactivate the user. Now, I want to freeze the user here. How can we freeze the user? Now let's see practically. Go to that user's information, open any of the user record which you want to prevent from the login access. Go to that some manager user, open that user record. On that user record, you will be having a button called as freeze button. By using that freeze button, we can able to deactivate that user also for some time. Now this user is what? Manager user. Now let's try whether this user is able to log in into my organization application or not. I would like to cross check that before freezing that. I haven't freezed that user record right now here. I want to log in into this account here. This user is what? The manager user. I'm entering the password. When you press enter, then this user can able to log in into my application as it is. Nothing but this person can able to log in. Now it is going to be indicating this user is a manager user right now. Manager user has been logging into this application right now here. Now, so now he can able to log in into that. I'm logging out from this user account. Now deactivate the freeze that user. Observe what will happen. Now I'm freezing this user. Click on freeze button. Automatically user record has been freezed. Now it is giving that button called as unfreeze button to you. Nothing but here user permissions has been suspended for some time. Till what time? Till when you click on that unfreeze button, this user cannot able to log in into your account. Whenever if any of the person is going for the vacation because of some sick, because of some personal issues, because of some maternity leave, at that time we are going to be freezing that user. Once she is recovered back from the health issues, then we can able to unfreeze that user account itself. Now this user has been freezed right now here. So now that's why it is displaying the button called as unfreeze. Now let's try to access this application right now with his credentials. Manager user. I'm entering the password. Click on login. It is giving that information. Please check your username and the password. If you still can't log in, then contact your Salesforce administrator. So now we cannot able to log in into that account here, even though we have entered the valid password. Now here I'm going to be unfreezing this one. Now before that I will show you that number of licenses. Now the user has been freezed. Now let's see that licenses. When you freeze the user, will it return the license back or not? Now observe this one, all the licenses are full. Nothing but license is not yet returned. When you deactivate the user, the associated license will be returned back to you. When you freeze the user, license will not be returned back to you. License will be available as it is. License will be still holding that person right now to you. Now, so now in this kind of scenario here, whenever if you want to unfreeze that user account again, then go to the user record, click on that user, open that user record which you have freezed, manager user, click on that unfreeze button. When you click on unfreeze that, it will be activating that user account, nothing but it will be granting the permission the user to log in into the application again. Now let's log in into this application. I have entered the password. Click on login. Now this user can able to log in into that application as it is. Now he can able to log in into that. Nothing but once she is recovered back, then we can able to log in into that. We can able to unfreeze that user account also here. So now this is the way we can able to manage the user records inside our Salesforce instance. Now, come to one more important feature in Salesforce right now here. Now these are the various user records that we have created right now. We have configured the customer user, manager user, testing user, and then development user. And then along with that, we are having our own user is available here, Salesforce training user, which is the system administrator. It is indicating each and every user which profile they are going to be using. That will be indicating by that profile itself. It is indicating whether this user is in active status or not by using the active checkbox to you over here. Now, let's cross check this one. One more functionality here. Suppose whenever the development user, nothing but these are 4 users like as a development user, manager user, testing user, customer user. Assume that these are the 4 developers. Now these developers are working on a specific application. Now, if any of the developer is facing some issue with the Salesforce application, not for the application which they are developing right now, with the Salesforce instance, with the Salesforce application itself, they are facing some issue here. The remaining 3 users are working fine. Nothing but for the remaining 3 users, the Salesforce application is working fine. For one user, this application is not working fine. Nothing but Salesforce application itself giving some issue here. Now, in this kind of scenario, how can we cross-check that? How can we troubleshoot? Whenever if any of the user is going to facing some problem with the Salesforce application, it's not the problem with my application, it's the problem of Salesforce application itself. So at that time, the problem is only occurring for this particular user only. For the remaining users, it is working fine. So now in this kind of scenario, how can we get the help? How can we get the support? So at that time, we need to get the help from our team member. I have contacted one of my below colleague person. Okay, I have contacted my colleague. He came to my cabin. He came to my system. He tried to resolve that, but still he is not unable to resolve that problem here. So now at that time, what we can do? I need to get the support of my Salesforce administrator. So now my Salesforce administrator is from some Bangalore location. I am from some Hyderabad location. Then how can we get the support here? Generally, what happened, if you need any support from your system administrator or your system administrator inside the organization, if the system administrator are available in a different location or nothing but in a different branch, at that time, no need to ask him to come to our location, no need to go to his location here. So at that time, we can able to grant the access on your system so that he can able to sit from the different location, he can control our system also here. By using some softwares are available like some net meeting. By using that net meeting software, we can able to grant our system control to him so that he can able to control our system by sitting in the different location itself. So now like the same way, whenever you are facing some problem with your Salesforce application, then what we can do? So now Salesforce is a on-demand application which can be accessible by using the browser so that everybody can able to log in from different location by using just the browser and the internet connection. So now I have tried to resolve this problem, but I'm unable to resolve that. But I have contacted so many people. I have Googled it in the Google also, but I did not find the proper solution. So that I need the support of my Salesforce administrator. So at least this person can able to resolve my problem. So now then what we can do, this person has to log in into my account and then he needs to perform the same operation so that he can able to get that error message so that he can resolve that. So at that time, in order to log in into my account, we need to share our username and the password to him. But as per the company policy, we should not share the confidential information to anybody else. Even though he may be your company CEO, he may be your project manager also, don't share your system username and the password. Because as per the company policy, this company is having the ISO 27001 certification. As per the ISO 27001 certification, which is describing that information security and the confidentiality that your password and your system username and the password cannot be shared with any people. Even though he may be inside the organization, he may be outside the organization also. So now, as per my company policy, I cannot able to share my username and the password of my Salesforce account. Then how this person can able to log in? So at that time, Salesforce is giving some alternative options to you. Now here one more scenario will be came into the picture. I have granted my username and the password to my Salesforce administrator. This person tried to resolve my problem, but still he is unable to resolve that. Then at that time, if the system administrator also, your Salesforce administrator is also not able to resolve your problem, then to whom we need to contact? We need to get the support from the Salesforce support people. Because this application has been developed by the Salesforce people, so that whenever you are facing any problem with that product, then try to resolve that problem by your own. If you are unable to resolve, then get the support from that Salesforce people. So now in this kind of scenario here, whenever if you want to get the help from your Salesforce administrator or from the Salesforce support people, then no need to grant the access on your Salesforce account to those people here. No need to share your username and the password, but Salesforce is giving one option to you that by which we can able to just provide one link to him so that those people can able to click on that link automatically. They will be logging into our account as well without entering our username and the password. So for that, Salesforce is providing one option called as grant account to login access. They have provided one option called as grant account to login access. By using this option, we can grant our account to login access to our Salesforce administrator and to Salesforce support people. So at that time, no need to share your username and the password. Just we have to grant the account to login access to that Salesforce administrator or the Salesforce support people. Then how long time you want to grant the login access? It may be 1 hour, it may be 2 hours, it may be 1 day, it may be 1 week, it may be 1 month, it may be 1 year also, whatever, depends upon your need. We can able to grant the account to login access to our Salesforce administrator or the Salesforce support people. Then how can we grant the account to login access? Now we'll see practically here. So now as a developer, he may be a development user, he may be a testing user, he may be a manager user or anybody. They have to log in into their account first, and then they have to go to the specific navigation, and they can able to grant the account to login access here. How can we grant the account to login access? Now let's see practically over here and what will happen in this case. Now the navigation process. Login into